Well, this is nice weather, Lancy. Can you please make a cup of coffee for me?
What, you drinking coffee now?
Well, you see this delicious sweet bread that Natasha and Panta delivered to us for Christmas.
Panta could bake?
Well, you know, Panta, he never didn't bake it. They say he make it, he must wash the raisins. But you know, all the guys always like to say, is all you do it, all you make it. Huh?
Yeah.
Natasha and Panta, thank you very much. The sweet bread was massive, the size of the plate. It's down to quarter. Well loved and appreciated. Natasha.
Yesterday, people
we had some friends across yesterday, and boy, they enjoyed the sweet bread. It's like a real old-time, nice, special sweet bread. Tasha, you're good to go. You can't only make barbecue and cook good food, but you're excellent in the baking too, man. Yeah.
You did very good.
That's what this is all about. The way the man had is through his stomach. So Panta, we know you're liking yourself. So Lancy is going to make a cup of coffee there. And 50-50 this sweet bread. This sweet bread is so delicious and so different, Tasha, that I want to hold back at least a 2 slices for Tony and Shanta, because I can't make good sweet bread. But I tell you the truth, this sweet bread is top of the line. So Tony and Shanta, all the name written here. I'm going to put this away for you all.
What is it?
Cheese and sweet bread and coffee. This is the life. We are very quiet at home. Mr. Sanan is saying, everybody is saying, well, you're nice and quiet at home. So anyway, yeah, man. So we're going to, we had enough ham, so we're going to have some cheese with this nice sweet bread. Nancy? Sweet bread for you too, right? I mean, cheese for you?
Yeah, please, I love it. Nothing else.
Butter too?
No thanks. Skip the butter. I don't want it to be a butter. Rain, girl, rain.
Nice rain, man. Nice rain. Special weather.
Hey, what is it in the capital and read?
My mother used to make coconut bake.
Oh.
So I should have made it coconut bake. This weather.
That's okay.
But with this nice sweet bread, boy, I'd rather you make coconut bake and have this good sweet bread. This sweet bread that Natasha made with love.
Not a big deal, please.
Yeah, man.
Oh. Tasha, check it out. Sweet bread, cheddar cheese. I hope I ain't. Yeah, that cheese. You have something from what do you call this cake again? Swiss roll. Me on that, eh?
No, this is plenty.
Swiss roll, we're going to eat this next occasion. How come you get 2 pieces?
I cut 1 in half.
Oh, you cut yours in half?
You want to cut it half?
No thanks.
So we sharing 1 cup of coffee?
Of course. I give it a go, man. Now then go strap to me, son.
So Nancy, here we are sitting, having Tasha, thanks again. You know, I must say that we have been well treated by all our subscribers. In one way or another, visit And all have been thoughtful to bring something that we made. We got cake from Deborah, some bread.
You know, Louise, them subscribers fix me up so good. I feel you don't know how to cook again.
Well, bake anyway.
At least a bit. But anyway, you put on a good meal yesterday, yeah?
It was very special having Marcel, Marcial, and her husband.
Kenneth, yeah.
It was a lovely time.
I'll bring it in afternoon.
Yeah. You know, I always like to think that no man is an island. And I love company. I love young people. And I'm happy for the appreciation that have been shown, particularly by subscribers who we never knew. So much kindness have come our way since we have met with you. Thank you very much. Appreciate the visits and so on. Nancy? Well, my white girl, I thought about you. Greetings from Trin City, from Lance and Louise Wilma. Hope you're doing pretty good. Yeah, and thoughts went also to Wimpy Intra. How are you, my dear? I remember you every day. Especially when I take test my sugar. Appreciate it. And Tony and Shanta, happy that you all are not overseas. And you all are having a good time.
I want to Peter and Liz grow up in the valley.
Boy.
Rain for so and for.
Yeah.
And the 3 little girls up there. Sydney, Sadie, Suri.
We love you all.
And their mommy.
Love.
I've never seen cold wine. You know something? When it used to rain, but of course we're going into dry season, right? So you find that but when it would rain like this in the rainy season, my brothers would go crab hunting. I tried once after everybody left, but I wasn't successful. First crab that bite me, that was the end of that.
You ran back to mommy?
You know how much it will help people, those people who sell crab on that bypass road in Kira, near the Caroline Savannah Bridge.
Yeah.
Everybody could catch crab, you know. Not everybody could catch crab, you know.
Everything have a technique, Nancy.
Everything, eh?
Yeah, whatever you do, if you have the technique, you excel.
You know, one of the things that you use that word, technique. We didn't have electricity. We didn't have running water, pipe-borne water, right? In Cora.
No, no, it's not.
Still. And because of that, we were pushed more in the academic sense, right? I was never good at hammer and nail. I never knew how to fix a motor car, right? My dad used to try and hand at painting.
You're very good at painting.
Painting what, Bill?
You told me.
I never painted in red.
Maybe pink.
So I was always kind of shy to venture into areas, trade areas I didn't know.
Right.
Which was a real handicap, eh? In a measure.
In a measure.
Right?
But everybody can be everything in life.
Right.
So let's tell that.
And it never occurred to my folks, even when I was going to primary school, to think of me going to a trade school.
But in your school and you work?
It never occurred to me, so that means to say the thought was never there.
You were only thinking academic.
So it was a loss in the sense of a development. Okay, let's take Sana for instance. Sana went to school and he did what? TD, technical drawing?
Yeah. And he did home ec.
So he was able to cook, he could do carpentry, he could do plumbing.
But you see, he was always an inquisitive person.
Yes, but you see, the thing about it is, they did it in school, and he got into the stream of things. And that trade today, what do you do in school? Beautician? Well, you're looking at the camera also. You feel it? You did beauty cosmetics in school or what? We're not asking about.
Yeah, 50-50.
I want to.
Hey, let me tell you something. As I always tell you, everybody don't have all the same talents, right? And that's why we have to accept people as they are, because you might excel in one area that I don't have any, not even zero, much more excel. So I remember when I was in elementary school, we were doing kitchen towels. So you have chain stitch and you have straight stitch and you have mean stitches. Because first to begin, I was left-handed.
You still are?
And Miss Leontin, who was the teacher, she used to come in 2 o'clock on a Thursday, sewing lessons, and the kitchen, making kitchen towels, chain, stitch, stem, stitch.
What's her name? What's her name?
Miss Leontin.
Leontin?
Yeah. And let me tell you, when she come to school, I am in stitches. Because...
You're laughing, I mean?
No! I upset, I'm in stitches.
Well, you know, I think you're saying when you're in stitches.
You're laughing.
You're laughing, yeah.
Well, I was crying in stitches. Because I am left-handed. So she is going to start my sewing right-sided. So all you can understand what's going on with a little 10-year-old, that I had to turn around this brown cotton material, turn it around to do something that my left hand just haven't got the skill.
That's why you won't bang the table.
Right.
Don't do that.
So let me tell you, man, when children don't finish learning straight stitch, and they reach now to, now I'm forgetting the different chain stitch. Chain stitch now is like you're making little loop, right? So like if you're going to do a flower, that is what you will use, that stitch. Stem stitch. Children don't do stem stitch. Children don't reach making flowers. I still on the first lesson by which time my little cloth, the kitchen towel was like this size. I just reached here with the first set of straight stitch. And I ripped so many times till I rip off the clothes. There was no laughing. I was laughing.
So what did teacher told you then?
Miss London was not a teacher. She was
the instructress.
She used to come in to teach embroidery. So she just coming in for 2 hours or 1 hour. And let me tell you something. I used to be crying. I don't know what to do. I can't handle it. When I rip off a stitch, a hole in it that looked so scrappy. I felt deflated that I just can't get it right. I said, Miss, I'm not able with this thing now.
It was mandatory to do it? Compulsory?
No, it was just that to make the little girls, you know, able to do stuff. You know, it was like a little extracurricular.
Well, you could sew on a button on a shirt though.
I could sew on a button, but the possibility to fall off. But the thing about it is, I could cook a good meal, right?
Or they had home economics class or something? Or you learned that for your mother?
Yes, we had home ec class, yes, you want to learn to make cake and things.
Right, you did well in that, eh? You should do well in that?
Yeah.
Well, you see, that is true.
So this is the point I'm coming to, that nobody is perfect. Nobody had all talents they need in life. Everybody not academic. But everybody have an area that they excel in. I excel in talking, if I may say so. I'm laughing.
You're a laughing class too?
Well, I was in clown class. So at least I used to have everybody happy. But really and truly, we have to accept others for who we are. I am not able to do all these fancy things and so on. But whatever I can do, I do it well.
That's the important thing, you know.
Whatever I can do, I try to do it well. I try to make people happy. I don't try to make people happy. It's just...
You make people happy?
I make people happy. I don't try. I make people happy. I know that I'm loved by many people that I cross paths with. And I feel good to know that I am loved and I have a heart that room for all. You know?
Yeah.
So I feel very satisfied. I can't do many things. But I'm not going to let that upset me and I will gripe over that. No.
So do what you can and do it to the best of your ability.
Yes, and that's why I always tell you that don't matter you can't do certain things.
Right.
That has not lessened you in my eyes.
Oh Lord, that is so nice.
You know? And that's why in marriage, we don't look for the weaknesses in our partners. I think I've said this many times, but it's never too much to hear. Because sometimes we lose sight of wanting our partner to be perfect. No, there's no one perfect. But we gotta work with what we have.
That's right, Rita.
Right? Yeah. And you don't keep bashing the person for something that they're not able to do. You can't bash them. No. It's just not in their... That's not one of their strengths. That's a weakness. But they are strong in other things.
And you appreciate that and you move with that.
Yes, and you don't condemn and you don't criticize. And you laugh maybe, and you might be laughing at the person at first, but eventually you start to laugh with each other.
Of course, it's good to laugh with each other. Anyway, Louise, considering the weather, I brought on, since I'm on the academic side of things, right?
Oh gosh, I don't mean I don't like to read too much.
Yes.
If you want me to talk, I could talk from now till 6 o'clock.
Okay. I brought out several books here.
You can't read all them books this evening?
No. I want you to have a choice this evening with this beautiful rainy weather. It's the kind of weather you could enjoy a good book. Now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books here, and they're all local books.
Well, I don't want to dance with a dragon if he can't dance.
The dragon. Earl Lovelace. I met Earl Lovelace, I would say back in the 60s. He came to work at the Express, and he was on the night desk where we did our preparation for the pages that will, you know, appear in the paper. Earl Lovelace really, at that time, I would say, I'm only guessing it because I really didn't know the man well enough to make this assumption. But he didn't fit into the night desk. His talent lay in being a novelist. And I remember he looked pretty bored on the night desk, right, Louis? He looked pretty bored on the night desk. And when he went on to be successful in this book here, The Dragon Can Dance, I remember meeting him in Matura, where he was spending time with his wife and I think it's the children. And he, no doubt, was gathering the feel, the atmosphere of things. And there was also a book he wrote. What's the name of that book again, Louise?
You mean to say this book was $11?
The Wine of Astonishment. Huh?
You mean to say this whole big book is only $11?
Well,
Give me back here.
it's probably
Or 41.
hold on a second there.
I can't imagine.
£1.50.
Oh, £1.50.
Right.
But that's really very cheap.
This is typical of women, eh? She takes up the book. She doesn't read the back page, the back cover. She doesn't read the back cover. But she's concerned about the price.
But you see, financial aspect is my thing.
Woman, you might be looking at something and you might be looking at, let's say you were looking at a movie. Tell you how women think sometimes. You're looking at a movie, you're listening to the dialogue, and your partner, your soulmate.
Say Louise.
No, not Louise. I think this is a general thing across the board. I'd be wrong. Take me to task.
That's why I say Louise, because I guess you're talking from my experience.
I'm talking about the female species, right? And while you're looking at you're listening to the dialogue, and you're thinking about what is following, and you know, and when you're making a show, your verbal contribution as an actor or actress is short, so you have to be terse with your comment, right?
Yeah.
And everything must lead on to the next segment, the next segment, the next segment. So you sit with your partner and you're looking at something, listening to the dialogue, and she says, but look at the kind of dress she's wearing. And look at the house. What are you doing there? And I said, hey, can you not listen to the dialogue? Then you come and you ask 15 minutes after, so what is going on here now? Remember when we used to go to movies, that used to happen?
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
They used to say that I was the that was back in when? 19?
Oh, we got married in 1971, all early 70s.
Yeah, I remember taking Louise to see the movie called The Sons of Thunder.
And my brother came up.
The brother came up.
From Caracas, fresh.
Fresh as a seashell man. And we sit down there watching The Sons of Thunder, and I'm trying to catch the dialogue, and Louise is saying, what happening here now? What happening here now? I said, try and listen, please. Try and listen now. I saw the whole movie now. I am interpreting everything. And what your brother said? They hired the interpreter?
Yes, Lance come here as the interpreter for us or what?
Oh gosh. Anyway, back to Lovelace. So he did the Wine of Astonishment. And usually when you belong to a certain location, right? That's why you should be able to write about the Carcassonne. Our meeting, how you felt when I got down there. You should be able to say that because that is your environment.
Well, we plan to do a book eventually. My east, west, south, north, south, west, meet, north, northeast.
You need a compass before you start writing that book, right? Anyway, so Lovelace went on to be quite a novelist and has won several awards, and I really appreciate.
So anyway,
so this is one book that you could probably read. You could begin to read this evening. The next book would be Ways of Sunlight by Samuel Selvan. Quite a good story.
So this all local people?
All is a local people. Samuel Selvan is Trinidadian, Earl Lovelace Trinidadian, and this is an extremely good book. I don't know where you can get a copy, but it's called Ways of Sunlight. And then we have V.S. Naipaul, The Mystic Monsieur. Excellent.
That is hilarious.
You read this, right? You read this?
I read that. It is hilarious.
Well scripted. So this is another one you could read. Of course, here we have, this did not turn out to be the final cover, Boy Days. Podbake production, Boy Days. And this is a collection of great stories, really great stories.
Boy Days, that seems to have been memories. That's a...
Oh, yeah. So Boy Days. Hey, look what I found inside of this book here.
Brandon and Zach.
Brandon and Zach.
Oh.
Brandon and Zach, Asana's and Arita's boys. Oh my, look at them, look at them. Okay, don't get too sentimental there now. So Boy Days is quite a good thing. A good production. And of course we have Jewels of the Caribbean, another Podbake production, right? For your information, this guy here, I wouldn't say who he is, but on a closer look, you might be able to discern who he is.
And if you do, we could give you a book.
Huh? You're good for yourself. Of course, we also have here Michael Cozier's Out of Murky Waters. I believe this is his last book so far that he has put out, right?
Yes, I think it is.
Out of Murky Waters, quite interesting.
Yes, and also it gives you a good account of Icarus, life in Icarus, as well as it is hilarious.
Michael Cozier, that is Louise's maiden name, Cozier.
My brother.
So this is her brother's book, Out of Murky Waters. Interesting. And we have here also...
I read that one, of course.
Well, of course. Of course you read that one.
And where's Ghost of Coral?
Oh no, the ghost he's afraid of raining water. Really well. And this is quite a good book, you know. This is C.L.R. James, Beyond a Boundary. So Louise, you have several books here that you can choose from. Right? Several books that you can choose from later that you can start reading. I don't think you've finished the book of The Ghost of Cora, right?
No, I haven't. So I'm not reading any book until I finish reading.
Oh, no, don't do that. You can read 2 or 3 books one time. It depends on how good you are at remembering where you stop. But I was... let's put these things together, right? These are all local books.
This sounds really good.
Well, that was quite interesting.
Yeah, this will be my first choice.
Right. It's a really simple but effective book.
That's why I like it. Simple.
Now, to talk a little bit about the book collection that we had in Cora there.
All these books from Cora?
No. But a book collection that we had. We had a bookshelf and we had a lot of books.
I remember that bookshelf.
Remember it?
It was at the foot of your bed.
Right. Cedric had built a nice horizontal thing for me. Placed all the books. But at that point in Cora, there were a lot of foreign books, or books written by, foreigners.
Yeah.
And even in school, secondary school, I did things like the Mill and the Floss. What is it? Mill and the Floss, or the Floss and the Mill? Mill and the Floss.
I can't help your age.
Okay, good. So wait a minute. In Icarus, you didn't have a secondary school.
No.
It was only primary school, right?
Yeah.
Please. Help me a little bit, right?
Yeah.
In Icarus, you had no secondary school, so you would not have had these novels to deal with on an exam basis. For instance, The Mill and the Floss, Pride and Prejudice, okay? Books like that. They were hard to read, they were tedious to read, and they were so foreign, unlike our local setting. It was kind of tortuous. A lot of people enjoyed it. and went on to read things like Oscar Wilde and that kind of stories, right? Oscar Wilde books, and Alexander Dumas, he had the Three Musketeers. But finally we came around to reading, in our day and age, we have these local books, and we're happy with them, right?
Yeah, of course.
Good. But while I was looking over something, I realized that I think all these books like Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, believe me, I believe that I dumped them. I dumped them because our grandchildren wouldn't read them, I wouldn't go back to them. But lately, while looking at the internet, I came across a quotation from Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. Mm-hmm. And it caused me now to regret throwing away such material. And I just want to read a little portion that has been highlighted from that book, and where we will get our subject from now. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I typed in was happiness in marriage. Mm-hmm. Okay? And this popped up. Happiness in marriage is a matter of chance.
True.
Hold on. So they pulled up this little portion from chapter 6 of Pride and Prejudice. Okay?
Oh, the whole thing is from Pride and Prejudice.
This little portion here is from a certain chapter. Okay? And here is how it runs. We could talk about it afterwards. Right? Happiness in marriage is a matter of chance. Is a matter of chance. Marriage is not a question of design. If the dispositions of the parties are ever so well known to each other, or ever so similar beforehand, it does not advance their felicity in the least. Right? They always continue to grow sufficiently unlike afterwards to have their share of vexation, and it is better to know as little as possible of the defects of the person with whom you are to pass your life.
What?
Let's try and unravel this famous quotation. Take me. These are some women speaking about a certain person who seems to be bent on marriage, and they're wondering whether you should know the defects of the person you're going to marry, or it is better not to know the defects. Okay, hold on. Marriage is not a question of design. Okay, fine. Are you going to marry this person because he's rich? He has a big house, he has a car.
He has a good job.
He has a good job. Should marriage be a question of design?
But some people marry by design.
They do, eh?
Yeah. Speaking to different women, one particular person, and I've heard other people too, but this one said to me that women marry, or she generalized it, but it seemed to have been more women she was talking about. And she says people marry for different reasons.
Okay.
And I said, well, like for example, what do you mean? I say, because I could only talk about marrying someone whom I loved. And you marry whom you loved, and the idea is that you would be able to share your life together for the rest of your life. When you marry, it should not be a 5-year contract or a 10-year contract, but at least in our time, up to our time, and maybe a little later, people view the marriage vows very seriously. Because in the marriage vows, it says, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. Right? Which tells me that is a lifetime. So when you love someone and you want to share your life with them, there will be all of these things. There'll be sickness, there'll be in richness and in for rich and for poor, or for poorer. You could marry a well-to-do man, and then he can lose his job, and you could lose your home, and a lot of things can happen. What do you do say, well, I'm not going through it, you know, problems. You're a sick man. I'm not able to take care of you. So, you could, in a case, if you marry by design, I know I'm no poor person, you know. I've heard women talk like that. I know marrying.
Continue, mommy. I hear you. I need to get a pen.
I am not marrying no poor man. I want to be comfortable. I want a car. I want a house and different things. And the person who fit that role may not be the person that you really love and want to spend the rest of your life with. Okay? So what happens? A turn of event in your life, and you lose your home, and you're practically no longer in the status that you were in when you were married. You walk out of the marriage because you marry for the wrong reason. Because you can marry a wealthy person or a healthy person, and in 5 years' time that can make a complete change. So, yes, I will say that you should not marry by design.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, marriage is not a personal design. Right, okay.
You decide, this is what I want to get married, right? Another reason someone might marry someone because I'm not happy at home, I need to get away. First wrong fault, because if you are not happy in home with your own family, you are taking you into a marriage, and therefore your marriage is not going to be happy because you marry for the wrong reason. You're married to get away, but you are taking you with that person, who you are. So that's two reasons why people marry by design.
Okay.
Right? You wanted to get away from home. You wanted to marry a rich person. Another reason somebody can marry for, they think they're getting old. And women talks about the body clock. So if I reach age 30 and I want to I have up to 35 for bearing children and I want children. At 30, the first person come around and ready to marry me, I want children. So I'm going to get married.
That's no good reason, huh?
No, but again, it is by design.
By design.
Marrying for the wrong reason.
Okay.
But when someone, so there's three reasons I have heard why people can get married. From people who seem to speak for themselves. That's why they get married. I got married.
But then the marriage is lasting?
Not happy.
Not happy?
No.
Okay. Okay. Can we move on to this? Can we move on a little further into this?
Right.
This quotation. If the dispositions of the parties are ever so well known to each other, so you know what the person is like, right?
Yeah.
Or ever so similar beforehand, it does not advance their felicity in the least. It does not advance their happiness in the least.
Right.
So if you know all about me before you get married, or
I wouldn't marry you.
Come.
That's what, we are on the same page?
Let's try and see if we can get on the same page. So I know about you and you know about me.
Yeah.
And is that enough to say that we're going to have a good marriage?
No.
Okay, right?
Unless you are very mature to accept that, okay.
But I know me. So if you say we know each other, right?
Yeah, but we know each other. I know you're a drinker. Right? I know you drink.
Yeah.
There's no secret.
Don't point that finger at me.
The right finger, yeah? I know that you are a drinker.
Right.
But I will marry you hoping that I could change you.
Mistake.
Exactly. So, what does it say again?
If the dispositions of the parties are ever so well known to each other. I know you inside out.
Yeah, I know you are a drinker, but I'll still marry you. Some people will still go along, knowing you know, because I have asked different women. Some say their husband changed, and I would say he didn't change, he pretended.
Okay.
Because nobody could change so drastically after marriage.
Okay.
It meant you put on a show. You made me feel you were this way. I fall in you as this type of person. And when I marry you, you're somebody different. That is horrible.
Okay. But we're talking about similarities, right? And if you and I are similar, do you feel it will work all the time? It will work?
Oh, you mean to say we on the same page all the time?
We have the same kind of disposition, maybe likes or dislikes, and we feel comfortable because I will automatically know you won't like this and I won't like that. But it says it will not advance their happiness.
I don't know if I totally agree with that.
Okay.
And even the part where it said, is it that the same thing, man?
It does not advance their happiness in the least.
Say,
they always continue to grow.
To know as little as possible of the effect of the person with whom you are to
pass your life.
Pass your life. So like what they're saying there is that it's better not to know anything about a person.
That's what they're saying, to know as little as possible of the defects of the person with whom you are to pass your life.
I would rather know. And let my choice be that no, I can't handle that. I would rather know. If you are a jealous person,
yeah,
and I don't know that, and when I get married, I find that out, it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather know. Because if someone was a jealous person who not willing to see things differently, our marriage would not work.
Mm-hmm.
Because my personality is to be friendly, and it's not into it, and you can talk and laugh with anyone and spend time just talking and laughing, and you understand that about me. So you make yourself happy talking and laughing with other people too. Mm. So maybe we are similar in that way. Mm. Right? Mm. If you're similar, it can work. Mm. But if you were jealous, which you seem to think that you are a jealous person, I didn't know that about you before I married you. Mm. So I would have preferred to know that you're jealous, because I know that there are a lot of misunderstandings.
Yeah, I will be stifling your personality.
Yes.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. And I believe in being who I am.
Mm-hmm. And to be allowed to be who you are.
What you see is what it is. Mm-hmm. And it is allowed. Mm-hmm. If I have to change my personality because you are a jealous man, I didn't even know you was a jealous man, I will burst at the seams.
What about if you found out that I was like you and I don't like to spend money?
Like me?
No. Come on, man, think about it. All right?
Yeah.
You and I have met. And you find out, but this fella doesn't like to spend money. But this is good because I don't really like to spend money freely too.
Right. So that's good.
I don't know if it's good.
Yes. If you're similar, because they said if you're similar.
But it doesn't mean, they said it wouldn't advance your happiness.
If you're similar.
If you're similar.
Yeah.
What about if you want to spend some money now that you feel the situation warrants it? And I don't feel that you should spend that kind of money. And I said, no. I think
problems.
That's what they're talking about.
Yeah. So I really feel, in all fairness, I condemn Pride and Prejudice in that.
No, this was a discussion between some sisters talking about.
Oh, it's not. They're just discussing.
They're talking about.
They're merely conversing. It has no bearing. It's not like, well, tested and proven to be correct.
I will have to get the book and you will have to read it. It's all English, eh? It's
okay, because, you know, it's extracted. Because I honestly believe that people should know what they're getting into. Mm-hmm. And if you choose, if you knew that a man is a drinker or a man is a hitter, and you still marry that person.
And what about if he's a miser? What are you going to handle?
Well, if he's a miser, I will leave him with Scrooge, yes.
You will leave him for Scrooge?
I'll leave him for Scrooge. You know? So, I feel that people should not be fake or pretend to be who they are.
So would you agree to the statement that happiness in marriage is a matter of chance?
Well, if you're going on these
but give me your take on happiness in marriage. Give me your take on happiness in marriage.
By chance.
No, forget the chance.
Yeah.
Give me a take on happiness in marriage. Get in there then.
Okay. Well, I believe in courtship. I believe in courtship that if you like the same things I like, you're not pretending, you're being honest about who you are.
Right.
I believe if I like to go by my family and you like to go by my family and I am happy with that, I will be happy in marriage.
Okay.
Because that is important to me. My family is important to me. So if you allow me this happiness in courtship, and I know that, I don't expect it to change. But if you play your hand that way, and then when you marry me, I discover you only wanted to go by my family so you could be with me.
Okay, so that brings us back to this point here, right? Your dispositions of the parties are ever so well known to each other, or ever so similar before, it does not advance their felicity in the least.
But I am saying
they continue to grow sufficiently unlike afterwards. They continue to grow unlike afterwards. The word is unlike. They're not what they were in the beginning.
Right, so that's your fake.
Right.
Or you pretended.
So now it turns from...
Am I in line with them? Or
I would think so. It's turning now from exaltation to vexation. They're no longer happy about things because...
You change.
Seemingly you change, but you were always really there.
So you pretended. You go fake.
That's right.
So I still say that people need to find out what is real about you. And therefore, you should really, one sure way really that people can't pretend is look at them around their own family. Look around and see how they relate to their brother, how they relate to their sister, how they treat their mother, how they treat their father. Because they can't pretend. You cannot pretend to those who know you growing up and so. So I will say that if people are going around and thinking of getting married and family life is important, visit both sides of the family.
See how they live.
See how they live.
Let me take
but I think I mentioned before of a guy who said he went to visit his girl, and when she was being what she was to him, her family was like, "What you playing, girl? You're not treating me." They started to heckle her and so. And you say, okay, so that's the story. She pretending.
So, last part. It is better to know as little as possible of the defects of the person with whom you are to pass your life.
I don't agree with that.
Because
again,
it's going to be a rude awakening.
A rude awakening, and you're already married. I can't do anything about it except divorce. But I didn't plan to divorce. I didn't plan to divorce because I marry you. If I know the defects, I have only myself to blame. Right? Like as I say, if I marry you and you drinking, you're smoking, and that is something that I am used to, and I don't want that in my marriage, I will not marry you. Because I cannot change you.
That's right.
I cannot change you.
So how does one go about well, I mean, you're already pointed out.
Well, I will say stay away from anybody that is contrary to what you would like in your life.
But then again, you come back to the question of if you find somebody with similarities, you could get trapped also.
Well, yes, because you won't be similar in everything, eh?
You wouldn't be similar in everything at all.
Yeah. Yes, that is very possible. That you could tell yourself, we are so similar. I've heard husbands, wives say that they're very similar to their husband. I have heard that already.
Okay.
They are, you know, they're in a marriage, but I don't really know how it goes. But if you're similar and you're not pretending, it will work, maybe, really.
So what are the
Because think of it. If you are similar, that you could be happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let us say I met you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care for family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't care for family. And life is a kind of selfish life. Both of us are that way. Maybe you could be happy because nobody matters, nothing matters, once both of us happy. But I would think if you're selfish, you will show selfishness to each other. Because I want the best piece of meat, and I want the best piece of that, and buy one piece of that. I'm not giving you none of that, so that's mine.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be very similar, and you will say, yes, it will work. But whatever you both are similar in, there will be times when the role will change.
Mm-hmm. So then, Louise, I can point out 3 things that a marriage should have on their partners. 1, humility.
Right.
Right? If we display humility to each other and respect, the humility, embracing respect, consideration, whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. Sincerity, not just
superficial.
Not a superficial sincerity, but a deep sincerity, right? And above all, maturity. Yeah. If you're wrong, you could admit you're wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Where praise is to be given, it is given.
Yeah.
Where love is to be shown, you show it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Spending time with each other, you know, take the time to be good to each other.
Yeah.
Take the time to be good to each other. Now,
because 52 years married, if you really and truly was bickering about everything, and everything you do and I do is contrary, and we just locking horns, I don't think 52 years we'll be able to sit here and talk with people and try to suggest how to live. I will be saying, don't get married at all.
Well, probably Jane Austen heard you. You know, it says that she never got married.
Well, that she very the pros and cons. She said no.
Yes. It says she never got married, but it seems she had her chances. And she died at the age of 41.
She means people wanted to marry her?
It would seem so. But well, she had this...
She didn't meet the right person then.
Mm-hmm. But she wrote several
She
books.
probably took the advice about...
She took her own advice. She took her own advice.
She took her own advice. But she probably find, well, they say, look, it like it worth it, you know. Mm-mm. Because it is by chance. Happiness will be by chance. And the different things that if you don't know this person, and then when you start to find out things that you can't appreciate, well, you coping with that.
Marriage is really not a lottery, you know.
No.
A lottery of chances, you know. It's not at all.
I would say, however, that if we allow God in our marriage, that you pray about it, and you ask the Lord to show you if this is the right person, and you know, and you know what you want out of life, then you know, you probably just might God send the right person for you. So I will not say something by chance, but I will say, do not let physical attraction overpower you, because that, I think, is the one thing that really create real problems. Yes, we need physical attraction. Certainly, when there's physical attraction, it's like the icing on the cake. But I tell you the truth, living day to day, getting along with each other, to be considerate, to understand, to sometimes give way. These are the things that makes a happy marriage. And as I say, yes, but if you just have physical attraction and you're married because this man, butterflies, heart racing, and this is it, this is it, this is it, and there's nothing more, 3 months time, you're ready to divorce.
But I must say, in all sincerity, there was a little bit of physical attraction when it came to you, eh?
Same here. But the fact is, with having gel with each other to our personality.
Your mental outlook was what recommended you.
Yes.
Your heart, contentment.
And that's what keep the marriage, because if I was not who I am, or you were not who you are.
You see, hey, that's Nancy passing on there.
If you were not who you are and I am not, we would not have made 52 years. So if you really want to marry and spend a lifetime together, there are certain things that you have to look out for. Don't let only the physical part of it be the deciding line. Yeah, it's much more to marriage than that. But that's the cake, that's the icing on the cake.
But let me tell you this, looking at this headline here, the dragon can't dance. But the night you met me, you know what I say? Lancy could dance.
Dance.
Could dance.
So that was something. But okay, look at that. When I first met you, Lancy could dance. But now we don't dance.
No, we don't dance.
But we still love one another.
Yes.
So God in your marriage is also very, very important. Take it from me that when you allow, although I can't really say that, you know, I think it was love at first sight, which was like physical attraction, love at first sight. But I think that I must have been sincere about wanting to have a good marriage and
you really wanted to have a home.
A happy home and,
and we didn't
to be a help, to be useful.
But you know, Louise, we never discussed these things, you know, it just happened.
It just happened.
It just flowed.
Yeah. Anybody could come to our home to want to talk. We are welcome to listen. We don't plan to carry anybody on our backs.
Not at all.
But, you know, we certainly will like to lend a helping hand, to listen, to advise. And if it is you're just going on and on and on and not accepting and just complaining, we can't help you. But, you know, we can listen, and if we can help, we will suggest. But, yeah. And I'm sure that all of you would like to have a long marriage, happy marriage, and you could be a help to your children. You may not be a help to your children, but you might be a help to other people's children. Because sometimes, you know, you can't help your own children. You make them, but you don't make their minds. But you must never be the one to be blamed, because if you all divorce, your children divorce too. But when you came from a home, if someone came from a home of a happy marriage and they get divorced, the parents will never feel, well, where did I go wrong? Because that's a tough thing, you know, to blame yourself. When you blame yourself, maybe we didn't do something right and the children didn't learn the right lesson. But you don't have to blame yourself. But it's great and we know we have helped a lot of people. And we feel sorry when we can't help our own children. But it is what it is. You know, you can't cast no stones at anybody.
We know let us be clear. Let us clarify something here. When you say we can't help our own children, you're not talking about we as Lance and Louise, eh?
No, we talk in general.
You talk in general. When you feel you can't help your own children, right?
Yes, yeah. Because many parents facing children going through divorcing.
Oh yes.
Many people are facing
Stable
that.
parents are facing that.
Yeah. I mean, in Trinidad, we used to hear about that in America every day, how much people divorcing. But in Trinidad now, you meet people and 6 months time they divorce, 3 months time they say, but wait now, what's really going on? This is really what's going on out there. It's real.
you know.
You know, but as parents, if you knew that you were a good example, then you don't have to blame yourself.
Yeah, self-reproach.
So it's a
out
general
of the
thing I'm
question.
talking about.
Yeah, very good. So thank you, Louise. I hope you can get on to reading something this evening. It's a lovely, lovely, cool evening here.
Yes.
And it might be good in this rainy weather to start reading Ways of Sunlight.
Yes,
so thank you, folks.
That's my choice for the afternoon.
Very good. Thank you. Have a good and safe day tomorrow and onward.
Yes.
And into the new year. So.
Yes. And we would like to shout out to...
Let's say we're shouting out to everybody, Louise, because this is going to be a tedious run. We're shouting out to all
our subscribers.
Those who look on, those who are involved, those who want to be involved, our friends out there, our neighbors here and there. My friends, all the best to you, everybody. Right?
Bye.
Bye.